Need to talk about it and call it out directly and spot on. There is no excuse for that. I don't know if my ancestors had slaves or not, but if they did, F them. Truly, I don't need to go reconcile.
There deserves to be some balance now where we have to wrestle with the fact that some white Americans do trace their ancestry back to this period of history.
No, when they prop up a guy that was a traitor to his own country, a Confederate, with a slave in the painting, that's just disrespectful and cruel. This is cruel.
This has been a...
Just don't like this topic. I don't like him doing this. I know we have to talk about it, but I just want to say.
And this is a party of cruelty and a party that props up white supremacy. It just truly is. And they can say one thing, but you look at their actions.
Yes, Jen, tell it like it T.I. is. If y'all ain't know about this woman and her partner Angie Pumps, they run the I've Had It podcast. I've been following them for a hot minute. These are the voices we need for white women. I've oftentimes said right there, the backbone holding up America with our black sisters being the kickstand for the bike. The handlebars and the seat of the bike were white women. They were the one whispering in slave owners' ears saying, stop beating them. They're your family. They're taking care of our kids. And I know you going back there tagging them. So let's give them some rights. And she wears that on her sleeve. As you see throughout this video, she goes back and forth with this stupid ass notion Trump is doing of putting General Lee back up with a slave right there behind. Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And what bothers me so much about this is how his people, MAGA, is swearing up and down that Democrats are dividing the fucking country. People, they don't do this in nobody else's country. You don't go to Germany and see Hitler monuments. You don't go to Germany and see Hitler's right-hand man standing up in national places where people congregate, courthouses, national malls, national parks. You don't see that shit there. And I want to give a big shout out to Couch Politics. He's the one where I got this B-roll from. And the B-roll you're seeing right now is the ladies of I Had It. Please go subscribe to both of them if you haven't. Let's jump into some more of this video and then we'll comment on the back end.
Tonight, the White House's so-called war on woke goes to West Point. The Pentagon is reinstalling a portrait of Confederate General Robert E. Lee to the Academy's library. The 20-foot painting shows Lee in his Confederate uniform with an enslaved person holding his horse in the background. A congressionally mandated commission ordered it taken down 3 years ago as part of an effort to remove Confederate tributes from the military. This isn't just about a painting. It's about a painting that was meant to lionize the part of Robert E. Lee that we don't like, where he was the Confederate general, where he defended slavery. Not everything about Robert E. Lee was removed from West Point, but this one was.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have much to say here. It's heartbreaking to me. There are a lot of great Americans. None of them fought against our own government. Period. None of them fought to uphold the enslavement of my ancestors, period. So I don't understand why Donald Trump, who, by the way, has, shocked a lot of people in his ability to appeal to black voters, is spitting in those black voters' faces by putting some of the most painful imagery that you could in the middle of our military, which we all respect and revere. So I just don't like this topic. I don't like him doing this. I know we have to talk about it, but I just want to say, it's hard for me to respect people, and I respect everybody. It's hard for me to respect people who would make the argument that this is the man we should be upholding, that somebody who led military forces against our own government to keep my ancestors enslaved is worthy of this type of treatment and respect. There are other people in America's military whose names have been taken down. Tuskegee Airmen and other people who were taken down, and this is being put up, and it's it's inexcusably bad from my point of view.
Anybody?
I agree with him completely. They removed Harvey Milk, who was gay, and he was a veteran that served and a gay rights activist, and they removed him. And this is a party of cruelty and a party that props up white supremacy. It just truly is. And they can say one thing, but you look at their actions and they remove military people of color. They remove LGBTQ plus people. And then they prop up a guy that was a traitor to his own country, a Confederate, with a slave in the painting. That's just disrespectful and cruel. It is cruel.
This has been a very specific campaign on the part of this administration. Not just to say, let's leave what's there. They want to restore honors to Confederate figures. I still have a hard time understanding what the real logic of that is.
Not be my hill to fight over. It wouldn't be my hill to die on. But to put things maybe in context, to perhaps broaden the conversation a little bit, there are a lot of Americans out there who trace their ancestry back to the Confederacy as white people. And I think they have to wrestle with their own ancestors, and to some degree, they have to be proud of who their ancestors were. Not everyone in the South was a slave owner. I'm not trying to diminish that. But these people are the descendants of a group of people who decided to act a certain way, and they have to digest that. And it's important to remember that when we solved the Civil War, when the war ended, the government chose not to execute these Confederate leaders. They chose not to jail them, not to execute them, but they went in a period of Reconstruction. And so, if there was some balance perhaps in the 1860s and 70s and 80s, perhaps there deserves to be some balance now where we have to wrestle with the fact that some white Americans do trace their ancestry back to this period of history.
No, that is not an excuse for doing this. It just isn't. This is so incredibly cruel. This is regressive, and I think we all know for a certain group, part of the electorate, when they say make America great again, they are sending us the messaging of what that is. And we need to talk about it and call it out directly and spot on. There is no excuse for that. I don't know if my ancestors had slaves or not, but if they did, F them. Truly, I don't need to go reconcile that. I don't need a piece of art to see a black person degraded and not considered a full human being.
Yes, Jen, yes. Eat his ass alive. We as minorities are so sick of hearing white people trying to defend their heritage by saying it's their fucking heritage. Ladies and gentlemen, how many people do you see running around here saying that they're related to the most heinous mass shooters that we've ever seen? You don't see none of them fuckers running around saying that. You don't see nobody who's related to Hitler running around saying I'm related to Hitler, now memorialize him. And Jen is spot on. If I were somebody white and I knew that my relative was a mass slave owner and even fought so that black people couldn't have freedom, I would acknowledge that I'm related to him. They were wrong. No matter what era it was, their asses was wrong. And what can I do as his heritage to fix or make a better place for minorities than what he did? That's what the answer should be from every white piece of crap in America that loves MAGA, but it is not, because number one, they're not educated. Number two, they don't have a full mouth of teeth. Number three, they don't want to be educated. And number four, they wake up every single day needing to hate someone. And the best people to hate, minorities, now white, liberal women, LGBTQ plus community, and anybody who is highly educated and understands that America stands for democracy and not dictatorship. Let me know what you guys think. Post your comments below. Be sure to come back tomorrow when I go live with my homie Kate Powell of TikTok. Damn near an economist, does the best TikTok videos where you see how she weighs the economy with facts. If you want to get more from me, please go check out all my links in one spot at beacons.ai/politics of being black. And if you want to go buy some merch, I've got a merch stock, shoplifegains.com. And until that next Sexy as Hell video, I'm out.
Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body.